Imagine arriving at JFK Airport. You're 22 years old. You have a world-class engineering degree from IIT Delhi, a suitcase, and exactly $600 in your pocket. You aren't here for a vacation. You're here because you want to build the next Microsoft. But there's a catch. For the next 7 years, the US government will legally forbid you from starting a company. You are trapped in a state of forced apprenticeship. This is the story of Jyoti Bansal, a man who waited more than 2,500 days for a piece of paper, a green card, that would eventually turn into a $3.7 billion exit. It's a story about why the smartest people in the world are often the ones the system is designed to hold back, and what happens when you finally let them loose. Today, we are asking, what is the strange irony that forces world-class innovators into a state of forced apprenticeship? How did a single phone call result in a $3.7 billion acquisition that changed the lives of 400 employees? How did one man turn a small farming machinery background into a tech empire with a second act valued at over $5 billion? And finally, at the end of the video, you'll have a quick pop quiz about Jyoti's journey.
Just a quick reminder, if you appreciate this in-depth content, please take a moment to like and subscribe. It helps us bring you more.
To understand the scale of what Jyoti achieved, we have to go back to Rajasthan, India. Think of a small town, far from the neon lights of Silicon Valley. Jyoti spent his afternoons helping his father sell farming machinery. It was basic, it was manual, but it was a masterclass in entrepreneurship. He saw how tools made labor easier. But Jyoti's mind was elsewhere. He was a math prodigy. He made it into IIT Delhi, the MIT of India. And then the spark happened. Bill Gates visited the campus. Sabir Bhatia, the guy who started Hotmail, was making headlines. Suddenly, the American dream wasn't just a movie trope, it was a technical specification. On July 4th, the year 2000, Independence Day, Jyoti landed in America. The irony of that date would become very clear very quickly. Now, this is where the investigative part comes in. Most people think immigrant and startup go hand in hand, but the H-1B work visa is a double-edged sword. For Jyoti, it was his ticket in, but it was also his cage. He was a software architect. He was brilliant. He was working at startups, seeing exactly how they were built. He had ideas, big ones, about how to fix software glitches before they crashed entire systems. But under H-1B work visa rules, you are tied to your employer. You can't quit and start a rival. You can't even have a second job. For 7 years, from 2000 to 2007, Jyoti Bansal was a billionaire in waiting, stuck in immigration limbo. He calls it a forced apprenticeship. Imagine having the future of tech in your brain, but if you don't sign the incorporation papers, you get deported. That is the tension of the high-skilled immigrant. This creates a strange paradox in the heart of Silicon Valley. We're told that America is the land of the free, where the best idea wins. But for someone like Jyoti, the system worked like a slow-motion filter. While his peers were raising venture capital and breaking things, he was forced to stay in his lane, perfecting his craft for other people. It's an invisible tax on innovation. Not a tax of money, but a tax of time.
Jyoti Bansal turned his vision into a tool that simplified life for everyone. He fought for his dream even when the system was designed to slow him down. What's the one idea driving your life forward? Let's talk about it in the comments.
2007. Everything changes. Not because the economy was great. Actually, the world was about to head into the Great Recession, but because Jyoti finally received his employment authorization document, or EAD. This is the golden ticket. It's the halfway point to a green card. This is a critical distinction that most people miss. You don't just get a green card overnight. There is a specific, often stressful window of time where your residency has been approved in theory. but your physical card hasn't been issued. This is where the Employment Authorization Document, or EAD, comes in. It's a legal bridge. For Jyoti, the EAD was the precise moment the handcuffs came off. It allowed him to finally step out from under a corporate sponsor and into the role of a founder, covering him during that final bureaucratic wait. For the first time in 2,555 days, Jyoti was free. He didn't wait. He didn't look for a safer job. He quit immediately. In April 2008, as Lehman Brothers was collapsing and the world was panicking, Jyoti founded AppDynamics. He was diagnosed with founder's fever at the worst possible economic moment in modern history. AppDynamics was built to solve a boring, invisible, but massive problem: software troubleshooting. If a bank's app goes down, they lose millions per minute. Jyoti's software found the needle in the haystack. He spent 9 years building it. By 2017, the company was preparing for an IPO, the holy grail of Silicon Valley. But then, 2 days before, they were supposed to ring the bell on Wall Street. The phone rang. It was Cisco. They didn't want to compete with him. They wanted to buy him. The price? $3.7 billion. It was one of the largest acquisitions in tech history. It wasn't just about Jyoti. That sale made 400 of his employees millionaires. The immigrant, who wasn't allowed to start a company, ended up creating a small city's worth of wealth for Americans. Jyoti didn't retire to a beach. He became a citizen in 2016 and went on a tear. He started big labs. He founded Unusual Ventures, started Harness, an AI platform now valued at $5.5 billion. That's another success. From one guy who almost wasn't allowed to stay. Today, Jyoti is an advocate. He argues that the current visa barriers are short-term thinking. When we make it hard for people like him to build, we aren't protecting jobs. We're preventing the creation of thousands of new ones. His story is a testament to what happens when you remove the friction from talent. From a small farm shop in Rajasthan to the heights of Silicon Valley, Jyoti Bansal's journey proves that resilience is the ultimate software. If you're an innovator waiting for your golden ticket, don't let the paperwork stop the dream. Every great journey needs a guide. The next billion-dollar idea might be yours. You just need the right status to unlock it.
Now let's see what you learned about Jyoti's story. Question 1. True or false? The H-1B visa allows a holder to start a side business as long as they keep their main job. The answer is false. The H-1B is strictly employer-specific. Question 2. How many years did Jyoti Bansal spend in immigration limbo before he could legally lead his own company? The answer is 7 years, from the year 2000 to 2007. Question 3. What is the specific document that finally gave Jyoti the golden ticket? The answer is the EAD, or Employment Authorization Document. Question 4. True or false? Receiving an EAD is the same thing as becoming a full U.S. citizen? The answer is false. An EAD is only a temporary work permit, and Jyoti didn't actually become a citizen until 2016. Question 5. What does Jyoti call that 7-year period where he was legally tied to his sponsoring employers? The answer is a forced apprenticeship, his own term for being a billionaire in waiting while the system held him back. How did you do? Drop your score in the comments.
The story you've just seen is a powerful answer to the question, what drives someone to leave everything behind and reshape the world with their vision? This series, proudly presented by the law offices of Chris M. Ingram, celebrates the courage, innovation, and determination of immigrants who transform history. Subscribe and join us as we continue to honor the enduring impact of immigrant ambition.